So anyway, Dale was born in
43. 3.5 years older than Mark, younger than Mark. Isn't that funny? I'm missing some very funny things. And she was born at Truro in New Orleans, Truro Hospital. And Saul hated to drive. And I had to be in the hospital for 2 weeks. And he hated to drive, so he got the colored driver, who was as black as the ace of spades, but his name was Pinky, to drive our car to Truro to pick me up.
So he wasn't there with you when you had the baby, was he? He stayed in West Point?
No, this is what happened. I forgot about that. Helen left the night, Helen left, I think the night before or that morning, and Saul came that evening, so I would have somebody with me. And I don't know what happened to Pinky. He found a place to stay somehow.
Right, well,
Finally, Pinky came. Did I describe Pinky to you?
yes.
So finally, it was time for me to leave the hospital. And they came to get me after 2 weeks. And in the back seat was a regular laundry basket with some, lined with a sheet and a pillow. And that's where Dale slept all the way back. It was 3.5 hours back in those days. And Saul sat up front with Pinky, and I was in the back seat with Dale. Well, Saul had to know every detail about what was happened, and during my stay at the hospital, and we talked. And I really got scared because I had to bend over to hear, because the cars were not air conditioned then. So you kept the windows open, and it was hard to hear. Because this was the 19th of July, and it got awfully hot in New Orleans. That was the hottest place in the world. So when I got home, my stomach hurt me so, and I got scared because, gee, maybe I injured myself, and the doctor's not there. I had all kinds of fears, like Mark says, and I don't realize that. But anyway, I was fine. And we got home. And Dale was a very satisfactory baby. She didn't cry all night. She digested her food. And I nursed her for 6 months. Not 6 months. Do you nurse the baby that long? Probably 6 months, as much as I could. And she was a very healthy baby and did beautifully. A very pretty baby. She was, I thought looked just like her father, had very regular features, an oval-shaped face, and not like Daddy and Mark and I, who have round faces. And things rocked along fine. I forgot, but got very cramped. We had all of Helen's nursery furniture because she insisted that I have all of her nursery furniture. So she had one of these kitty coops that was screened on the side and on top, and you rolled it in and out of the house. We kept it on the screen porch, and it was nice and easy, but she was going to get older and bigger. And we had them both in one room, and that wasn't going to work after so long a time. So the Peterzell said we had to have a bigger house. They were sort of like our godparents, besides being relatives. So we built the first house that had been built, other than the ones we were living in 20 years. And it was a pretty house. Everybody came to see it. And we got along very satisfactorily, except we moved into the house, brand new house, and Meyer, the oldest member of the Peterzells, gave us a wedding present, which was a beautiful, heavy, I don't know why I'm mentioning this, coffee table. But Gene Gillis's husband, who was the sales manager, one day while I was out, and we had a maid, a full-time maid, and I came into the house, and there stood the maid holding the baby, wrapped around, she had her hands on a broomstick, and Mark, who was little, boy, he was 3.5, hanging onto a skirt with this beautiful little Irish setter puppy with a Kelly green ribbon around his neck, shivering, petrified of the maid and the children, and the maid and the children were petrified of the dog. So I got things straight and called Saul immediately to tell him we had a new member of our family, but it was four-legged. So he was very satisfactory, except we did not have a fence around the house.
So anyway,
every day he brought the dog. We found a dead chicken in the yard because it was during the war. Yes, the war was not over yet. And everybody had their own chicken yards. So finally, after a short period of time, and the dog would not allow anybody to get between the carriage and the baby. He just stayed between the people who was gazing at this child. And what happened after that? Well, that was the end of that episode, except the dog got sick. There was no vet. I had to take him to Mobile, to a vet, and then had to leave him there. And the vet found that somebody had poisoned the dog. And then I realized how that happened. He was wandering all over the town, and I guess the people who saw him take a chicken decided to get rid of him.
what was the dog's name?
Boots.